table. Hi, I'm Savannah.
Hi, I'm Bella.
And we are the Shade Tree Chefs.
All right. Well, there it is. That
There it
is
is.
the intro,
Intro.
for today. It was beautiful.
Today's
They did
episode is brought to you by the Letter Kids.
Letter Kids. You
Yes.
know what? They did a phenomenal job. I think they enjoyed it, and they were good sports about it.
So we should probably get these kids back to their parents.
Right. Well, I mean, you are their parent? Oh. Well, somebody will.
it.
I'm sure somebody will take them in.
Okay. Well, go get ready for bed, kids, right?
Right. They did leave,
They did leave.
promptly as we instructed them to.
Because we threatened them.
Well, yeah. I mean, why wouldn't we?
Right.
No, good kids. Why did we have children introduce us today?
Because today's episode is all about kids' foods.
Kids' foods. I mean, do we introduce ourselves now, or do we just kind of let it roll?
Do
I
they
say
know,
we just
do,
let it roll.
do they know who we are? They know who we are.
If you don't know who we are by now, then
That's
obviously
okay.
we
That's
failed.
okay.
That's all right.
You're
now
forgiven.
you're learning.
Now you learn.
Now you learn.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Matt.
Okay.
All right. We just felt like we couldn't not let that be known.
Obligatory, yeah. All right, yeah. Anyways, so today's episode is about kids' foods, and we wanted to do an episode all about foods that kids would eat, and that's your typical chicken tendies and your grilled mac and cheese, or I'm sorry,
Grilled
not mac and
cheese.
Grilled
Right,
cheese.
right.
Thank you. Yeah. We said that Freudian slip a lot of times.
Yeah.
Well, making this.
I mean, and that was a food of which they wanted, but let's face it, right? Today got away from us.
That's gonna be a lot though, because you're gonna have to boil the water and you're gonna have to make the.
We're not gonna lie. You know, you had to work today.
I did.
He got off. I got over. We started drinking.
Started drinking. What did you get at the local?
Oh, what is that? Where's that bottle I got? Oh, hold on. We're waiting for Miss. Well, anyways, we did pick up a 6-pack of there again, MKE's Louis Demise. You had
Louis
something
Demise,
new.
I might have said that already. Louis Demise was, I think, my first craft beer back in the day. Mayhaps. I don't know what yours was, Matt, but
Yeah.
it's hard to remember. But I distinctly remember way back when. I guess that kind of ages me, but. Yeah, Louis Demise, delicious local beer, and it is more of a, it's an amber ale.
Yeah,
and-
amber ale. Good, it's solid, man.
Solid beer.
It's a solid beer.
But we produced what you have in your hand
Yeah.
now.
So long story short, we my wife's cousins were in town, and we went out to eat at a local establishment, the Explorium Brew Pub, in your backyard.
The lovely Andy and her
Andy
husband,
and Steve. They listen, I believe, which was great. And then you were still working. We left. We showed up right after you did. It was beautiful. But as we were leaving, as we tried all their several of their craft beers,
You dirty dogs came over. I looked into my backyard and I saw you were holding a bottle.
a bottle. It's called Driftless Glen, a bourbon whiskey single barrel straight.
And this one was specially made for.
Yeah, it was. It
them.
says here it was specifically. Bottled exclusively for the Explorium Brew Pub.
Blue brew.
Phenomenal.
Blue brew.
Right?
Ow
This
now
is-
brown cow.
How now brown
How now
cow.
brown cow.
How now brown cow.
There you go.
I thought it was very nice.
Oh,
whiskey.
very smooth
Very
whiskey,
smooth.
very drinkable. We had it on the rocks, so
Yeah, I mean it's
because it was room temp, I didn't want to warm.
It
beverage.
was, and it's warm out. I mean, it could be warmer. You know, people down south would probably say we're in a cool streak at 80 degrees or whatever it may have been today.
Yeah.
But here in Wisconsin, it was a warm day, a
Very-
beautiful day.
Very nice day. So, anyways, getting back to the topic at hand here, we decided. I talked to Matt and I said we need to make an episode about, well, one of many episodes about food that kids eat.
Well,
And-
right.
And kids are very simple creatures, and I love kids' foods. Kids' foods are sometimes
hold on.
simple.
They're simple, but they're difficult.
How so?
Well, I mean, let's face it. We say they're simple, but when it comes to feeding them, they can be some of the pickiest creatures on earth.
Well,
right?
yeah, and that's why we stick to today's episode, which was chicken tenders
Chicken tenders, yes.
and not mac and cheese.
Not mac and cheese, although on the list. But
We will do a mac and cheese episode, but that I want that episode to be more of like here's your Kraft mac and cheese, and here's your fancy, whatever kind of mac and cheese with like the bacon.
They'll be different.
And this, that, and the other. Yeah.
The one the kids will like, and the one that the adults will enjoy.
Special
will be
mac and cheese.
Two different.
So not mac and cheese, but grilled cheese.
No, and what really intrigued me is because exactly that. I mean, you deal with it a lot more, although I do deal with a teenager that likes about 4 foods themselves.
Teenagers are simple creatures too.
And obviously we do the podcast. And
Missed opportunity. We could have done like pizza rolls, hot pockets.
Right. I mean, there's a lot more we can do, but and I try to expand. Doing the podcast, trying to expand what we do, and because we need to, right? As we do this podcast, we can only do tacos how many times before reaching out of our comfort zone.
I mean, if we've already done baklava and
and
burek,
right?
Yeah,
so,
I mean, we've done crazy stuff like that. We're gonna go back to the simpler.
And I'm talking about 15-year-old that says, "Can't we just have white people tacos?" Because I'm not a fan of taking the ground meat and then the seasoning packets that says tacos. Yeah. And then kind of mixing that up and throwing it on a shell with some lettuce or whatever toppings you want. I'm not a fan of those.
What is white people tacos?
Exactly that. The
ground beef.
The ground beef with the seasoning
what are the
packet.
Minimum requirements. So ground beef. Seasoning packet.
The seasoning packet.
You're not going to make your own
cheddar
seasoning.
Cheese. Maybe.
Shredded cheese.
Shredded cheese. Now, if you're fancy, you go with the Mexican blend.
We're not fancy.
All right.
This is what
mild cheddar.
Yep.
Maybe some lettuce,
soft
tomato,
shells, soft flour
definitely.
tacos, not hard shells. Don't get crazy.
Gotta be flour.
Yeah.
No corn because that's too fancy,
right.
And it falls apart, and we just can't have that.
I hear an airplane, and normally we're at my house, and normally
that's my house.
Normally it's your house.
It's my house, yeah. And then sour cream, probably the worst thing of it all.
Mandatory sour cream.
Yeah, it's like no. You go to a taco truck, the seasoning is not from the little packet, right?
Right. It's custom.
It's custom, a lot better.
Yeah.
Generally, there's no cheese, right? I mean, you go to a taco truck or something, you get cilantro, maybe maybe some onion on it, maybe tomato.
And
There's your taco.
That's it.
There's no sour cream. It's like going and ordering a hot dog from a good hot dog stand and asking for ketchup on it. You don't do it.
You don't do it.
You don't do it.
Sacrilege.
It is sacrilege.
So,
but anyways,
chicken tendies.
Chicken tendies.
So going back, the idea kind of sprouted from my kids love chicken nuggets, chicken tenders, chicken this, chicken that, anything chicken based. And just a couple weeks back, I made grilled chicken tenders, and that was just grilled chicken tenders with seasoning on it. And
what kind of seasoning did you use? Do you remember?
I think it was like one of those like store bought this is for chicken. You know what I mean?
Okay, so like an individual packet you went and purchased, not
like a seasoning, like
something you would potentially still have.
You go to the groceries. Yeah, I would still have it. Like you go to the grocery store aisle. You're looking at all the seasonings. They have like that little grill section, and this one's for chicken, and this one's for steak,
right?
And this one's for
a beer can chicken by Weber's or whoever,
something like that.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it was a quick, again,
it works, man. They're good.
Season it, cook it, done.
I mean, that's generally what I go to, and I don't like chicken, but you throw that beer can chicken or whatnot.
So when I texted you and I said, let's do chicken tendies, and you said, yeah, but let's do a little bit different. I'm like, okay, sure.
So our thought was, all right, the children like the chicken tenders, the chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
And you buy the Tyson or you go to McDonald's and you deal with this shredded meat-sicle, right? You don't really know what's in it. Mystery meat, right? Now, how good is that really for them? And then it's deep fried.
It's processed. It's got all kinds of additives, this, that, and the other.
So I think kind of the thought process we had in this is how can we do this at home, maybe make it a little bit healthier,
right?
And know what we're actually dealing with, not with this formed, dinosaur
nuggies.
Dinosaur nuggies that maybe it's chicken feet.
chicken lips, chicken.
Right, chicken
yeah.
lips. You don't know what it is.
Exactly.
And honestly, I thought it was a great idea. So we go to the store, right? I mean, let's start. We find ourselves some chicken tenders.
And we got lucky. There were some chicken tenders that were on sale. They might have been like sitting there for longer than they should have, but they were marked down. And
They look good.
They look fine. We opened them up. They smelled fine. So check and check. We made them that day anyway.
And it's for children, I mean, they're resilient.
They'll bounce back from it. They're fine. Their immune systems are crazy right now. So yeah. So we got the 2 packs of that. We got the you wanted to bread them. Right?
Yeah. I said, well, if we're gonna do it, let's do it breaded like they would deal with at McDonald's or Chick-fil-A,
almost like
or
a fried, but
almost fried. But we decided how we're gonna cook these today.
so today we busted out the Hunsaker or the griddle adapter, which is just the round flat plate that sits right on the 22-inch Weber, and it kind of converts it from a regular standard grill, to a flat top, which you can equate to. We already did a whole episode on this, but it equates to like your Blackstone.
Blackstone, yep.
Which is like the name brand. I think Weber now makes one. There's so many brands out there.
There's a lot out there.
But it converts it to just a flat top, and that way you're not losing your food. You're a short order chef.
So leading into this, we decided we're going to use the griddle top, whatever you want to call it, whatever gas or fuel you have.
And I love this thing. I mean, we talked about it in the past, but
you
use so little fuel on this. Like a 3/4 of a basket lasted 2 hours.
And it's right. We've talked that we underutilize this tool.
Yeah.
But we had some concerns with this, right? So now we're going to do chicken tenders. We're going to do a flat top. Given the coals are underneath, it's not gas. We're dealing with. We don't know what our temperature is going to be.
And the important thing is to know the coal, the fuel you're using, and you want to spread out your coals and make a nice flat surface with them, because if you kind of like pile them up in any one area or have more in one zone, you're going to have that mystery heat, that little hot spot right there, kind of like a gas grill where you get your burnt food.
Most of the time, you can learn that gas grill. Where using something like this, it's going to be different every time you put it on the grill.
Right. So preparation is the most important thing when you're using this tool.
Yeah. So with that, given we don't really know our heat, right? We underutilize this tool. We'll fully admit.
We don't know it. We don't have the proper tool. You have like a laser thermometer. I don't have that tool here. I should maybe buy one, but
I didn't think about bringing that.
Right.
So we got hot spots. So the biggest thing was throwing these breaded chicken tendies.
Tendies, thank you.
The chicken tendies, for all intensive purposes and being politically correct on the terminology.
For all intents and purposes.
All intents and purposes. Yeah. Was how do we make sure that these just don't get burnt
to a crisp,
right, and still be raw in the middle?
Right.
And how did we kind of circumvent that?
So this was actually the second thing that we cooked on there, right? Because we did we didn't talk about it yet, but we did some carrots.
Well, right. Okay. So to sidetrack ourselves a little bit,
I'm gonna sidetrack, and we're gonna retro kind of inject here. We didn't want to just do chicken tendies and the grilled cheese.
Well, and to be fair, we asked your children.
We asked the introductory children's. What do you guys want to eat? What do kids eat? And I'm like, I know you guys eat chicken tendies. I know you guys eat mac and cheese.
That was an easy one.
It was
chicken
so
tendies
easy. Yeah, knock it out of the park.
And we said, what vegetable?
What vegetables you guys like? And my daughter's like, oh, I like carrots. I'm like, Matt's like, okay. And you had carrots at your house.
So luckily, the missus had to run back home, and I had a big bag of them. Now, in hindsight, I'm like, great, we're going to try carrots. But at the same point, I was worried because me personally, a carrot needs to be either raw or mush. There's no in between. I don't like al dente carrots. I don't like warm. It's kind of soft, and you get that inner core that's hard.
Weird.
I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree.
Yeah. I don't like it at all.
And you just learned something new today. You learned side topic. You learned that carrots come in a can.
I never knew that you could get carrots in a can.
I don't know how you didn't know that.
Maybe I haven't looked enough. I know corn, peas.
That tells me you don't go down the vegetable aisle enough.
I guess not.
or the canned vegetables. I should say canned vegetables.
Canned vegetables. Yeah, I've missed out on maybe some opportunities that
You have some
I've
homework.
missed,
Go to the store next time. Buy some canned carrots.
Like I
it
feel
comes
like
in like 4 or 5 different varieties. You got like there's what I don't know.
Yeah,
they're cut up. Julienne, they're cut
yeah,
up. You know what I mean? Like
right.
they're in a juice. They're not. There's so
you
many
know,
different types.
I think probably for the next 3 weeks, I'm going to have to incorporate these
Carrots with
canned
every meal.
carrots. I mean,
Carrots with every meal.
the missus is going to be like, "Are you serious?"
She's actually over in the corner
yeah,
looking,
looking
at him like
it's
giving him.
Don't you dare! I'm going to.
I like carrots to a point. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize they came that way.
Yeah.
So I say, what do we do with this? 'Cause now today, we had the idea of, and I know we're kind of sidestepping again. Chicken tenders. We're like, all right, let's start researching, and maybe it's because we were enjoying ourselves a little bit, but I didn't see anything that was interesting. So I said, let's just wing it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just wing it. We'll get some breadcrumbs, which your missus said, I have breadcrumbs. Don't worry. So awesome. We go to the store. We pick up everything you need. We already got the carrots, and we're just going to go from there. So the carrots, I'm thinking, well, let's do honey.
Mm-hmm.
And let's do brown sugar.
Right.
Like, you can't go wrong with that.
It's a lot of sweet.
A lot of sweet. We also realized this is probably going to take the longest of anything. Right?
Yeah, I mean, carrots do take a while to go from hard to soft, the mush that you like.
Right. And all we did was we chopped the 2 ends off and threw them on the grill. They look
cooked them
beautiful.
up. And you threw them on the flat top. You threw them along with the frozen tater tots.
Oh, tater tots, right?
So another inject there.
Another inject.
So those are 2 vegetables. We had the frozen tater tots, and we had the carrots in the brown sugar and the honey.
Yeah.
And butter.
Honey. No butter.
No butter?
We threw a little oil on the
Oil.
hot plate.
Well, you had to oil the plate.
Right.
Right. You don't want to just maybe butter next time.
Butter would have.
Kind of hindsight is
Yeah. I mean, oil still works.
oil, butter. It's kind of.
So yeah, we threw the carrots on first.
They cooked really well. They cooked really quick, by the way, too.
Surprisingly.
We did have high heat. So again, we used 3/4 of a basket, and for this cook we were using Blues Hog charcoal.
Yeah.
I say that with like a higher questioning tone, like Blues Hog. Is that what I was using? But no, that's what I was using. Blues Hog charcoal. That was on sale for the previous holiday, and I like it so far. I like it better than I like the Kingsford. A lot less smoke, pretty good consistency as far as heat goes. So far, so good. I did buy, I think, 3 bags, maybe 4 bags of it. But
And we'll get into we're gonna go deeper into these different coals because, like you stated about this Kingsford, I lit up I opened a new bag the other day and I had next to no smoke.
smoke, yeah.
And nice heat, nice hot heat. It worked really well, but there again, it was cheap. I had it on hand, but we're gonna in the near future.
Whoa.
Oh, that happened. That was a burp, everybody.
Are you okay?
I'm perfectly fine. Sorry about that. We're gonna dive deeper into these different charcoals and rate them and all that.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, back to the food.
Back to the food, not my burping.
Not the burping.
Not the burping.
Yuck. All right. So carrots are looking good. Carrots are done. We bring them inside and let them sit in the oven.
Now too, because the listeners can't see what we've seen. You had a nice caramelization, almost blackened spots.
Yeah.
Throughout part of it.
Those are picture perfect.
They were beautiful. I mean, it's like you have where it's like I just burnt this, and then you have that. I'm like, you know what? That looks good.
Right.
That looks good.
Right.
Do we want to just say what we thought about those right off the bat?
Looks amazing.
I thought the looks were good.
Taste, I think we both gave it like a 6
Okay.
out of 10.
So I'll say this. Like I said, I'm raw carrot or mush carrot. This obviously wasn't. I think they were cooked well for the standard world of maybe the al dente. I didn't mind it. But I thought it lacked some more seasoning. Like we could have used something else.
There's something
in there.
There's something.
But for just winging it, thinking that would bring some sweetness to it, and rolling with it, I thought it turned out well. Like I could see myself eating more than the one bite we had, and like I said, lacking some seasoning in it. I thought the honey, you kind of picked it up. The brown sugar kind of picked it up, but it lacked something.
Right.
But for just pulling it out of our rear,
Our tails, yeah. It was fine.
not bad.
It was
Not bad.
It was food.
Like I would think about grilling carrots again,
I would do it again. I would do it differently. Yeah.
but differently.
Yep.
But it honestly, it's opened my mind
So
to it.
add carrots to our list of grillable vegetables, and maybe the second follow-up episode for our vegetarians
Right.
selections, because we did season 1. We did have a vegetarian options where we
Oh yeah,
grilled
there's some good stuff
some
you can
things on
do.
there. Yep.
Back to chicken
Back to the
tendies.
main course here. Yeah, so our chicken tendies came next. We put them in. We cleaned them up a little bit, seasoned them with some salt, pepper, garlic.
SPG.
SPG, aka SPG. Put them in flour, egg, and
For all intensive purposes, what I could tell that you had in stock at home was Italian breadcrumbs.
Italian breadcrumbs. They had a scent.
Yeah, from what I could taste, it was Italian breadcrumbs. So in ways, I was a little disappointed because I'm like, what are we going to do? I'm like, we'll just throw some stuff at it. We'll throw some garlic in there. We'll throw a little paprika, some onion powder, and just wing it.
Yeah.
Because we're all like, whatever, man, you know. But this was pre-seasoned, so we just left it alone.
Yeah. So again, with them, threw them on the flat top once they were all coated and battered and everything like that. Threw them on the flat top, and they grilled very nicely. We still had that high heat. I think
Yeah.
The grill lid itself was showing 350, 400, which at the surface is a little bit hotter. So we had very high heat. I did dampen the one-touch cleaning system at the bottom, to kind of like quash the heat. But to no avail, we still had very high heat.
Right, and the main thing I would recommend to anybody dealing with these unknowns, much like a lot of our grilling is kind of set it, forget it, right?
Yeah.
Dealing with this type of cooking, it's called check often, right? Because we did deal with it. There was a hot spot in there,
And it's been quite some time since I used that thing, so I didn't remember how much charcoal to use.
We're shade tree chefs to begin with. And we're winging it as we go with this thing. It was even a little bit more because, all honesty, I can tell you I've cooked on one maybe 5 times.
And you had to bring yours back to life. Was it last year,
I
or the
left
year
it.
before?
Yeah,
You left it sitting in
and
the elements.
it does come back to life. You just heat it up, throw some oil on it, and then
Give
it
it a
comes back to
scrape
life.
and-
Give
yeah.
some scrapes, and it's back to new.
Chicken tendies are done. Bring it in. We feed the kids, and the kids gave a resounding, "Wow, this is awesome."
Yeah, and I tasted it. I mean, Italian seasoning. You didn't have to do much to it. They were good. I mean, like I said, you don't know your hot zone, so we did have upon the first flip a few that were darker because we're in that hot spot, and we adjusted to that. My main fear was doing it on the flat top was 2 things. We're either going to burn the crap out of the seasoning and have raw chicken,
Right.
or the seasoning isn't going to adhere to it and it's going to all fall off. And we had neither. I mean, it adhered to it.
It cooked quick because
cooked
we had
quick.
that high heat. Cooked quick, and it cooked well. We had very little burning on the chicken itself, so that was a success. And I think the little pieces that did burn, I think it was out of what we had, like 12 little cutlets.
Yeah.
I think out of 12 to 14 that we had, there was maybe 2 that looked burnt.
I mean, there was a couple of pieces where it's almost like you looked at the breading like this wasn't even kissed by any heat. And that was part of one that I personally tasted, and it adhered. It didn't taste like it was raw breading,
Right.
on it.
But more to the point, the kids loved it.
They loved it. It was a hit.
I mean, we're saying that they disappeared. It's their bedtime,
Well,
so they're gone. But
I asked him. I said, "How is this rate?" I'm like, "Is this better than McDonald's?" They said, "Yeah." I said, "What about like Chick-fil-A?" Yeah. I mean, they did love it, and it was. I guess the real point was for us was, what do you have in your cupboards,
right,
other than buying the chicken tenders? I mean, you had eggs, right? You had some flour,
and you don't even have to do all that. You could just season them like I did the last time. Throw them on your grill if you don't have this attachment, or if you do have a flat top, you can just throw it on your flat top. It works just fine.
Yeah. Well, my big thing was, okay, now we're breading it. We decided to use the Hunziker, that flat top of, what is that breading going to do?
Right.
And it turned out beautiful.
Turned out just fine.
Turned out just fine.
Yep.
And which was, like I said, that was probably the biggest thing for me was the breading. How would that react to putting on a flat top?
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
So chicken tendies,
Amazing.
chicken nuggies, chicken this, that, and the other. Do it.
And I give it a thumbs up, and I don't like chicken. Like,
that's,
I would eat that.
That's insane. So chicken, good.
Chicken, good.
Next thing we did was the grilled cheese.
We decided grilled cheese. Yeah.
And grilled cheese on the flat top, you were concerned that the breading, or the bread, I should say, was going to get a little burnt or it was going to get kind of messed up.
Well, yeah, right. But my fear there again with the breading with the chicken was that we're gonna scorch that outer surface, right? We're gonna burn the toast and have unmelted cheese, because that's the worst thing you can have. You want melted cheese. If I do it on the stovetop, I turn that heat down low.
Yep.
And I kind of let it go. That way I assure my cheese is melted by the time I pull it off.
Yeah.
We didn't have that control, really.
So we had that. We bought Texas toast. We bought
Texas
three different
toast.
types of cheeses. We bought your Kraft singles, which is something that you're going to have in your house.
Yeah, the American style cheese.
More than likely, I should say, have in your house.
And what's great about it and why we used it is the melting property, the creaminess of it, right? That is your standard grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, it's the standard cheese I grew up on, as a kid, and
I'll still eat it.
Yeah, still eat it. It's fine. It's good. But we wanted to go a little bit fancier for us adults, and so we ended up buying aged cheddar sliced cheese.
White cheddar, yep.
And the third cheese we bought was Gouda.
Actually, you're missing one because we did 2 batches. And we
we did
we had pepper jack.
Yeah, the little tiny kick.
Little tiny kick. So what we did, because we realized the misses wouldn't necessarily like, or the children, but we figured the chicken nuggies would be enough, which really, I guess in hindsight, really wasn't fair because we kind of gravitated to what the children said they liked.
All right.
And then it's like, eat your chicken nuggies. And then it's like the adults is like, here's your grilled cheese. It kind of backwards.
You come backwards, yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I love me some grilled cheese.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, we put it together. Like I said, we did.
So yeah, we built a grilled cheese like you would build any other grilled cheese. And if you've never built a grilled cheese or made grilled cheese before, super simple. 2 pieces of toast, or 2 pieces of bread, I should say. Butter on both sides. You butter your first piece, put it upside down. You put your cheese, choose your own cheese on there, slap it on there cold, and then put the other piece of toast or bread on top of that, and put butter on top of that.
Right. Butter on the outside.
Butter on the outside of both pieces. You slap it on your hot fire, your flat top like we did.
Right.
And so for us, we already had the heat going. We made our chicken tendies, bring it out there, you slap it on there. It was already really high heat. And we thought it was going to take a little bit longer. And
it was quick.
Yeah, it was so quick. And you were like, hey, that smells like it's burning. I'm like,
right. And
no.
there was a couple dark pieces, but at that point we learned that hot spot, so we flipped them, moving them around. But you're right. I mean, we're talking 4 minutes total cook time,
2.5, 3 minutes,
and which was what our main concern would have at that point was
cold cheese,
not
melted cheese,
Yeah. Cheese, perfect
cheese,
perfect.
So yeah, I mean. I'd say 3 minutes later, we open a lid on the grill. Yep, check one of them. Yep, it's pretty much done. And so we flipped them. 2-3 minutes later, they're all done.
And in hindsight, there's a lot more you can do with the grilled cheese, right? You can add bacon, you can add avocado, you can add tomato. We kept this kind of bare bones, other than several different types of cheeses.
Right.
I mean, the grilled cheese is
Jalapeno.
Yeah. I mean, we did the pepper jack, which I thought added a nice little hello, how are you doing?
Right.
Right.
And there's so many cheeses out there that we could have done, like fancy
Oh yeah,
cheeses
I mean, I've done it
aged.
at home where it's like you make a recipe, you have some leftovers. Like, you know what? I feel like a grilled cheese.
And that's what's the beauty of all this is you have the chicken tendies in your freezer, or even that's what I'm saying. Like you could use frozen chicken tendy in place of all this fresh stuff that we're doing.
Right.
You want to feed the kids, but you want to spend time outside. You get your frozen chicken tendies, you get your Kraft sliced cheese, you have your white bread, your Wonder Bread. That's fine.
Oh yeah,
It's going to produce good results.
Well, you're right. I mean, we decided that healthier option of let's create this ourselves instead of buying the Tyson or whatever brand that already has a preformed chicken feet, chicken tongue, chicken beak,
chicken
lip tenders.
Lips,
But you could easily take that frozen stuff and throw it on the grill.
Yeah.
Get outside. It's that time of year. Get outside is main.
Yep.
I think our main point on this.
And if you're listening to this in January, get outside.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Get those chicken tendies on the grill.
And like I mentioned, I know I mentioned it season one. My first house, it was a small house, and I didn't have central air. I had one window air conditioner. I bought a gas grill,
That's just it.
and I used 7 tanks of propane because I refused to turn the oven on because it would overcome anything that little window air conditioner could do. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Don't think anything can't be done on the grill, because it can.
Right.
Just open your mind. Just try it. You have
Yep.
nothing to lose.
Yeah, exactly. Everything turned out really well. The kids loved it. Didn't get much feedback from the missuses, but I liked it. You liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. Oh,
Hold on.
Wait.
Get a middle
Wait.
finger real quick. Hold on.
Oh, your missus says I don't think she enjoyed it, or she's. wait, what's going on here? Come on, let us know.
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell. I seen a middle
One
finger
thumb
go
up.
out, and now she's like, "What are you talking about?"
Hold on.
Oh,
Come
wait,
over here
say
and
it a
come
little
over-
louder.
Come over here and tell us.
So you could just talk up.
You remember you were on one of the episodes?
Yeah, you were on an episode.
Come-
All right,
come
so
on over. Come on-
what
come
did
on
you
over.
say? How was the grilled cheese?
It was a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
10 out of 10
Amazing.
grilled cheese. Best grilled cheese
I
she's
don't
ever
thi-
had.
I
she
don't think
says.
Jen. She's just. I'm
She's
gonna
not
hold
a
my
grilled
tongue.
cheese.
I'm gonna hold my tongue.
That's all right.
I have a comparison. I'm not gonna say it. I think she enjoyed it, and she's just. I see that look from her of saying, of just pure love.
Jen, you look really nice tonight. I just wanted
Of
to
like-
say, everything just nice.
Wow, I'm such a lucky guy.
Jealous.
So lucky.
Jealous.
So lucky. The stare she gives me, any man could only hope for.
Well, that's an episode. I'm glad you guys
All
know.
right. So no, yeah. I mean, the main point was, how do you cook for your kids? Get outside. You don't have to buy the Tyson pre-bought. Just buy yourself some chicky tendies. Any sort of breadcrumbs. You get the Italian was phenomenal.
So
An
now
egg,
you have
some
no
flour.
excuses to go outside.
Yeah, we
Get
could
your
have
butt
done
outside,
fries.
spend some time, get some fresh air. Kick that ball around, throw the football to little Timmy, little Jill.
Yeah.
Spend time outside, make some chicken tendies. He's whispering to me.
Whoa.
He's whispering to me. Yeah. The elephant in the room.
Elephant in the room.
We have one gray elephant in the room.
Yeah. So, all right. So, we've been very consistent until we decided to take a break through the winter season of being an every week podcast.
It's a lot easier to do every week in the colder months.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, you were deployed, and we kept it going.
If I had not been deployed, it's a lot easier to do every week in the colder months.
Right. So
Right.
we've been kind
right,
of talking.
or am I
So
wrong?
what we're going to do is, given some of the summer activities as children and dealing with baseball and all that, taking some time, we're going to switch to a bi-weekly podcast, at least for a little bit.
What does that mean? Twice a month.
Twice a month, so every other week. It was easier to do the podcast as we started it, right? It's like, hey, let's do a podcast on grilling. And the first 4 or 5 episodes was easy, and then we ran out of everything we normally do.
We did burgers, we did ribs.
Yeah, it's like we did all this. It's like, oh, now what? And we kept it going. And
let's do baklava.
I mean, all honesty, you deployed. My mother passed away, and we kept it going every week.
Rest in peace.
And it was boom. It's what we did, and it's a struggle at times. There's things I think we want to do with it. But at times, I work 50 plus hours, same with you, a week, that it becomes, I don't want to say a chore, because we love doing what we do. But we want to be able to keep what we do fresh and not stretching, just to be able to adhere to releasing something every week.
So with that being said, we're going to be coming at you every other week.
You're
going to love it. We're going to love it.
And hopefully, like I said, there's things that we said we're going to do, and then we don't. We're saying, well, this will give us time to do this. And
now we can do...
hopefully we actually do it now.
Now we can do mac and cheese.
We can do mac and cheese. Or like, hey, we're going to make the videos and update the website on time. Hopefully that we stick with that.
Dang.
Oh,
got me on that.
That was harsh. Videos too. We took a little bit of video today. Horrible, but I'll still put it out there.
This episode again is brought to you by the letter Q.
Q for
questionable.
Children approved.
Child approved. Kid tested.
Child approved.
Mother approved.
Well, the mother did approve.
Don't sue us.
Right.
But
We didn't really offend anybody.
No. I'm just saying that the kid tested, mother approved is like a slogan from a cereal. Right?
Oh, yeah. We're not Special
From
K
the
or
80s.
or whatever it was.
Kicks.
Right.
Kicks.
Anyways,
we're kind of dragging this along right now. So I'm going to say that was an episode.
I have to say this. I don't mean to cut you off, but you've been dragging on far too long.
I'm getting real sick of hearing
So
you.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Jamie. And we are
Shade Tree Chefs.